So this is day 7. Uh, what we have learned yesterday. We will revise the summary of that chapter. Okay. With enough practice, your brain will pick up the cue that has predict certain outcome with consistent thinking about it. Okay. Once our habit has been automated, we can't stop paying attention to what we are doing. Pointing and calling and habit scorecard. This both thing I should apply on my life, but I'm trying to apply on my life. So our topic is to next. I what I said that I will again repeat first and second page of chapter number 5. The best way to start new habits. Okay. Start. In 2001, the researcher in the Great Britain begins working with 248 people to build better exercise habits over a course of 2 weeks. The subjects were divided into 3 groups. The first group was the control group. They were simple asked to track how often they exercise. The second group was the motivation group. They were asked not only to track other workout but also to read some material on benefits of exercise. The researchers also explained the group how exercise could reduce the risks of cornea, heart disease, and improve the heart health. Finally, there was the third group. These subjects received the same presentation as the second group, which ensured that they had equal level of motivation. However, they were also asked to formulate a plan for when and where they would exercise over a long following weeks. Specifically, each member of the third group completed the following sentence: during the week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on the day and time in a place. In the first and second group, 35 to 38% of the people's exercise at least once per week. Interestingly, the motivation presentations give to the second group seems to have no meaningful impact on the behavior, but 91% of the third group exercise at least once per week, more than double the normal rate. The sentence they filled out is what researchers refers to as an implementation intention, which is a plan you make there beforehand about when and where to act. That is how you intend to implement a particular habit. The cue that triggers the habits come in the wide range of forms. They feel of your phone buzzing in your pocket, the smell of a chocolate chips cookies, the sound of an ambulance siren, but the two most common cue at a time and location is a time and location. Implementation intentions leverage both of these cues. Broadly speaking, the format for creating an implementation intention is when situation X arises, I will perform the response Y. Hundreds of studies has shown the implementation intentions are effective for sticking our goals, whether it's writing down the exact time and date of when you will get a shot and recording the time of your colonoscopy appointment. They increase the odds that people will stick with the habits like recycling, studying, going to sleep early, and stop smoking. Researchers has ever found that voter turnout increase when the people are forced to create implementation intention by answering question like what route you are going to take to the polling station, at what time you are planning to go, What bus you will get you there. Other successful government programs has promote citizen to make a clear plan to send taxes is on time and provide direction on when and where to pay late traffic bills. The punchline is clear. People who make a specific plan for and when and where they will perform a new habit are more likely to follow through. Too many people try to change their habit without this basic basic detail figuring out. We tell ourselves, I am going to eat healthier or I am going to ride more. But we never say when and where these habits are going to happen. We leave it up to the chance and hope that we will just remember to do it. Our uh, feel motivations at a right time. And implementations intentions sweep away fog notations like I want to work out more or I want to be more productive or I should vote and transform them into a concerned plan for action. Many people think they lack motivation when and what they will really lack is the clarity. It is not always obvious when and where to take action. Some people spend their entire life waiting for the time to be right to make an improvement. Once our implementation intention has been set, we don't have to wait for inspiration to strike. Do I write a chapter today or not? Do I meditate this morning or at lunch? When the moment's actions occur, there is no need to make decisions. Simply follow your predetermined plan. When plan, the simple way to apply the strategy to your habit to fill out this sentence. I will behave. I will behavior at time in location. Meditation. I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. Studying. I will study Spanish for 20 minutes at 6 p.m. in my bedroom. Exercise. I will exercise for 1 hour at 5 p.m. in my local gym. Marriage. I will take my partner a cup of a tea at 8 a.m. in the kitchen. If you aren't sure when to start your habit, try it the first day of a week, month, or a year. People are more likely to take actions when those times become hope is usually higher. If we have hope, we have a reason to take action. A fresh start feels motivating. There is another benefit to implementation intentions. Being specific about what you want and how you will achieve it help you to say no to things that derail progress, distract your attention and pull off course. course. We often say yes to little requests because we are not clear enough about what we need to be doing instead. When our dreams are vague, it's easily to be rationalized, like little exceptions all day long and never get around to specific things you needed to do success. Give your habit a time and a space to live in the world. The goal is to make the time and location so obvious that with enough repetition you get an urge to do a right thing at right time, even if you can't say why. As the writer Jason Wing noted, obviously you are never going to do just work with the out without consistent thought. But like a dog salvation to a bell, maybe you start to get anesthesia around the time of a day you normally work out. There are many ways to use implementation intention in our life and work. My favorite approach is one I learned from Stanford professor B.J. Fogg, and it is a strategy I refer to as a habit stacking. Now, this is the interesting thing. Habit stacking. a simple plan to overhaul your habits. The French philosopher Denis Diderot lived nearly his entire life in poverty, but that's all changed one day in 1765. Diderot's daughter was about to be married, and he could not afford the pay for the wedding. Despite his lack of wealth, Diderot was well known for his role as the co-founder and the writer of Encyclopedia, one of the most comprehensive encyclopedia of the time. When Catherine the Great, the Emperor of Russia, heard the Detroit financial troubles, her heart went out to him. She was a book lover and greatly enjoyed his encyclopedia. She offered to buy Detroit's personal library for £1,000, more than $1,50,000 day. Suddenly, Detroit had money to spare. With his new wealth, he not only paid the wedding but also acquired a scarlet robe for himself. Detroit's scarlet robe was beautiful, so beautiful in fact that he immediately noticed how out a place it seems when surrounded by his more common possessions. Again. Detroit's scarlet robe was beautiful, so beautiful in fact that he immediately noticed how out a place it seems when surrounded by his more common possessions. He wrote that there was no more coordination, no more unity, no more beauty between his elegant robes and the rest of his stuff. Okay. Detroit soon felt the urge to upgrade his possessions. He replaced his urge with one of rug with one of Damascus. He decorated his home with expensive sculptures. He brought a mirror to place above the mantel and a better kitchen table. He tossed aside his old straw chair from a leather one. Like falling domino, one purchase leads to the next. Detroit behavior is not uncommon. In fact, the tendency of one purchase leads to another one has the name the Detroit effect. Detroit's effect states op- that obtaining a new position often creates a spiral of consumption that leads to an additional purchase. You can spot them patterns everywhere. You buy a dress and have to get new shoes and earrings to match. You buy a couch and suddenly question the layout of the entire living room. You buy a toys for your children and soon find yourself purchasing all the accessories that go with it. It's change reaction of it, it is a chain reaction of purchases. Many human behavior follow this cycle. You often decided to do next based on what you have just finished doing. Going to bathroom leads to wash and drying your hands, with remind your that you need to put the dirty towel in the laundry. So you add a laundry detergent to the shopping list, and so on. No behavior happen in isolate. Each actions become a cue that trigger the next behavior. Why this is important? When it's become a building a new habit, you can use the connection of the behavior to your advantage. One of the best way to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top. This is called habit stacking. Habit stacking is special form of implementation intentions rather than pairing your new habits with a particular time and location. You pair it with a current habit. This method, which is created by BJ for as a part of a tiny habit program, can be used to design an obvious cue for nearly any habit. Habit stacking formula is after current habit, I will new habit. For example, meditation. After I pour a cup of coffee each morning, I will meditate for 1 minute. Exercise. After I take off my work shoes, I immediately change it to my workout clothes. Gratitude. After I sit down to dinner, I will say one thing I am grateful for that happening today. Marriage. After I get into bed at night, I will give my partner a kiss. Safety. After I put my running shoes, I will text a friend or family member when I am running and how long it will take. The key is to tie your desired behavior into something you already do each day. Once you had mastered this basic structure, you can begin to create a large stack by chaining small habits together. This allows you to take advantage from natural momentum that comes from one behavior, leading into the text, the positive version of Detroit effect. After I pour my morning cup of coffee, I will meditate for 60 seconds. After I meditate for 60 seconds, I will try to write my to-do list for the day. After I write my to-do list for the day, I immediately begin my first task. Or consider the habit stack in evening. After I finish eating dinner, I will put my plate directly into dishwasher. After I put my dishwashes away, I immediately wipe down to the counter. After I wipe down to the counter, I will set off my coffee mug for the tomorrow morning. You can also insert new behavior into the middle of your current routine. For example, you may already have a morning routine that look like wake up, make a bed, take a shower. And let's say you want to develop the habits of reading more each night. You can expand your habit stack and try something like wake up, make a bed, place a book on my pillow, take a shower. Now you climb into bed each night. A book will be sitting there waiting for you to enjoy. Our overall habit stacking allow you to create a set of simple rules that guide your future behavior. That's like you are always have a game plan for which action should become next. You once you get comfortable with this approach, you can develop general habit stack to guide you whenever the situation is appropriate. Exercise. When I see a set of stairs, I will take them instead of using the elevators. Social skill. When I walk into a party, I will introduce myself to someone I don't know yet. Finance. When I want to buy something over $1,000, I will wait for 24 hours before purchasing. Health, healthy habits. When I serve myself a meal, I will always put vegetables on my plate first. Minimalism. When I when I buy a new item, I will give someone away, one in, one out. Mood. When the phone rings, I will take a one deep breath and smile before answering. Forgetfulness. When I leave a public place, I will check the table and chair to make sure I don't leave anything behind. No matter how you see the strategy, the secret is to creating successful habit stacking is selection the right cue to kick off the thing selection the right cue to kick things off. Unlike an implementation intention, which specifically state the time and the location for a given behavior, habit stacking implement implicitly has the time and location built into it. When and where you choose to insert a habit into your daily routine can make a big difference. If you are trying to add meditation into your morning routine, but mornings are chaotic and your kids keep playing into the room, then that may be wrong place and time. Consider when you are most likely to be successful. Don't ask yourself to do the habit when you are likely to occupied with something else. The cue should also have the same frequency has your desired habit. If you want to do a habit every day, but you stack into one top of habit that only happens on morning, that's not a good choice. One way to find the right trigger for your habit stack is by brainstorming a list of a current habits. Be slow. Again, I will read. One way to find the right trigger for your habit stack is brainstorming a list of your current habit. You can use your habit score for the next chapter as a starting point. Alternative, you can create a list with two columns. In the first column, write down the habits you do each day without fail. For example, get out of bed, take a shower, brush your teeth, get dressed, brew a cup of coffee, eat breakfast, take the kids to school, start the work day, eat lunch, end the work day, change out the work clothes, sit down for the dinner, turn the lights, get into bed. Your list can be much longer, but you get the idea. In the second columns, you write down all the things that happen to you each day without fail. For example, the sunrise, to get a text message, the song you are listening to, and the sunset. Arms with these two lists, you can being search for the best place to layer your new habit into your lifestyle. Habit stacking works best when the cue is highly specific and immediately actionable. Many people select cues that are too vague. I made this mistake myself when I want to start push-up habit, but my habit stack was when I take a break for lunch, I will do 10 push-ups. After the glance, they sound reasonable, but soon I realized that the trigger was unclear. Would I do my push up before I ate lunch? After I ate lunch? Where would I do them? After a few consistent days, I changed my habit step too. When I close my laptop for lunch, I will do 10 push ups next to my desk. Immediately done. Habits like eat more, read more, eat better are worth cause. But these goals don't provide instruction how and when to act. Be specific and clear. After I close the door, after the after I brush my teeth, after I sit down at the table. Specify is importance. The more tightly bound your new habit is to a specific cue, the better the odd or the that you will notice when the times come to act. The first law of behavior change is to make obvious. Strategies like implementation, intention, and habit stacking are among the most practical way to create obvious cue for your habits and design a clear plan for and when and where to take action. Chapter summary. The first law of behavior change is to make obvious. The two second the most the two most common cues are time and location. Creating an implementation intention is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with a specific time and location. The implementation intention formula, I will behave at a time in location. Habit stacking strategies you can use to pair a new habit with a current habit. The habit stacking formula is after current habit, I will new habit. Okay, thank you everyone. And next chapter is motivation is overrated environment often matter more. Tomorrow we will read this chapter. Thank you for watching, everyone.